everyone, this is Judy and I'm coming to you from my dining room table in sunny South Carolina. I am very new to YouTube videos, so bear with me. I have been an entrepreneur for making all types of handmade things in my life, but this is the first time that I've been on YouTube and other social media platforms showing what I do and subsequently selling what I do. So I wanted to show you this book in particular because I have actually used this book as a kind of like a template book where I put in things that I've learned how to create and ideas and things like that. And so I actually have a lot of people that I would like to give a credit to, but I need to write them all down and I'll post it in the description when I get done with this video. So I just wanted to show you this book. It was an old legal questions and answers book from Reader's Digest, and it has 5 signatures. I cannot remember how many pages it has just yet, but it's a lot. And I'm not even done with it yet. So on the front, I put this cute little bird's nest thing. I remember clearly learning that from Pam at the Paper Outpost. She's very clever. And for the binding, I have this little ball type item that screws into the book and it closes with an elastic. Really cool, especially for fat books. So let's take a look. So anyway, I just created a bunch of pockets and made some little handmade flowers and tuck spots for pieces of ephemera, a little altered business card, some dictionary pages. And we'll just flip through here, and if I see something that needs to be commented on, I will. Another little tuck spot. One thing about me is I have loved paper my entire life. I love paper. I love all kinds of paper. And it wasn't until I started making altered books and junk journals that I actually felt inclined to journal every day. I just love journaling on a different piece of paper every day, or decorating. On this page, I just played with some of my stamps just so I wouldn't forget some of my favorite stamps, and I can look through here and reference it. I love pages like this that have a lot of words and lists. I believe this came from a 1970s book, Who's Who in America, which is a high school recognition book, and it was huge. Really fun to look at all the old names. Can't remember which book this came from because I have so many, but it was one of those botanical diaries. Beautiful, beautiful pictures and writings. I think one of my favorite types of paper is graph paper. Since I made this book, I have been tea dyeing a lot of paper, and I'm not sure how much I have of that in this book, if at all. Some pretty book pages, lovely music pages. I love paper that has a crinkle sound to it. And I actually love legal paper a lot. It's just a cute little card on a little bag right here. A little tuck spot for some extra journaling space. And I believe this was an old bookmark that I found in my stuff not too long ago, and I thought that would look good on this page. So another little tuck spot. I don't know if I'll actually ever journal in this book, but I probably will one day. But anyway, it has lots and lots of papers. I've been experimenting with some food packaging because I actually really liked that. This is a little card that I learned how to make, and I can't remember where I learned this, but little windows that I made on it, and a little card that goes in and you can see a background. So I'm going to flip that over just because I like the variety sometimes. I love that little squirrel. Isn't he cute? And then this page, and it has a little slide out here with another squirrel. And I sewed around the edges and inked it a little bit. But I just love that little example. Oh, this is my prototype book. That's what I wanted to call it. Another diary page from a botanical book. And now I remember writing this down, Pam from the Paper Outpost, on how to make this wonderful pocket out of old book pages. So I can't remember the book, but it was very old, and so I proceeded to make one. I love Pam because she will create so many cool things out of book pages. So many cool things. This is one of those tablets that we used to practice our ABCs on when we were children. And there's just a little, I think I bought this little folder and I turned it into a little booklet. Put some stamps on there to make it look pretty. And I love this cardstock that I used for this book so much. It came from Tuesday Morning, and I've been trying to find another pad like it because I just liked it so much, and I've really used it all up since I made this book. It has a little dangly right there. A pretty little envelope flip out right here, and I took an old hanky and cut out the embroidered design on it and glued it on there with some Fabri-Tac. And I just put just a couple of pre-made cards that I had gotten from somewhere. I don't remember where I got half of the stuff I've got. I have this lovely book about traveling all over the world, and so I like to try to put some of these in my journals. Very interesting. This is old coloring book page, and I just love how it feels. It feels very vintage. Here's another botanical page out of another botanical book. Oh, pretty damn. Now I did this page because at the time I was doing it, I had so much washi tape that I couldn't remember what all I had. So I kind of did this as a reference so that I could look back and look at all the pretty tapes that I have. I actually have probably twice this much now. I actually made this book back in January. And then I started, Pam from the Paper Outpost showed a way to take tape and put it over a book page and rip it so that the image of the words came up on the tape. And then I glued these down. And I thought that was such a clever idea. And I believe this is the back part of an envelope that I had put in here in some tea-dyed paper. And let's see, I just made a couple of little pockets right here. And this right here, I found it in a book, and I just love the colors of it. So I turned it into a pocket. Just love it. And another tuck spot right here. And I believe some of the paper on here was some digis that I had purchased at one time. And this right here is just a crude little thing I played with. I actually dried these flowers, and I don't know if you can tell, but most people would call them weeds. I call them seahorse flowers because some of them look like little seahorses. But I just kind of put it on a card and some cheesecloth and a doily and everything, just to make a pretty little, something pretty to look at. And here's another one of those other pockets that I learned to make from Pam from the Paper Outpost. In fact, when I learned how to make these, I probably made a couple of dozen of them. And this is I just love this postal envelope that I got recently, and it came with some free stamps. Well, you have to run them through your printer print postage on them, but I still liked it. And this right here, these 2 pages, I just put down examples of paper that I like to use in journals. And I really need to add to this because since then I've found more paper that I like. I believe this is part of the directory to an atlas, which I just love the paper. I love the feel of it. Lots of journaling space in this book. Let's see, botanical page again, back of the coloring page, and the travel book. And this right here was something fun I learned from somebody. This right here, let me see if I can get this in frame. This is an old seed packet, and I just put this pretty botanical page in there because I just love that book that this came out of so much. And I've used that book in so many different things. So let's put that back. And then another page from that same book. And a cute little pocket made from the cardstock that I used in this book. And then on the side, I actually have a little pull-out, another pocket. And I actually made this myself. I cut all these little squares and glued them onto a page and put a tab on there and made extra journaling space. And it tucks easily right there. Another signature here. I remember this came from, I learned this from Pam from the Paper Outpost. A butterfly envelope and a little journaling card to go in the middle. Just some pretty writing paper. Loved it. Put some stamp on there and some liquid pearls. And I don't remember where I learned how to make that, but basically collaging and put an old stamp on there and such. This is a tea-dyed page that I turned into a pocket. And inside of here, I just have a little folder and a little journaling card to put in there. Let's see what we got here. I can't remember where I got this, but this is vintage paper. This was an illustration out of a book. Just love that picture, like the little wolf right there. A little doily. And this was a book I've had for about 20 years. I've got about 10 of these books. It's called Gift Wrap by Artists. And every book is loaded with so many beautiful pages, and when you tear them out of the book, it's this huge sheet. And I've been using this wrapping paper for years, so I said I'm going to try it in this book and see what I can do with it. So I sewed it and made like a pocket page with it, and I put this menu in here so I wouldn't forget where it was, and obviously I forgot where it was because I was looking for it and couldn't find it. I'll try to remember that. Some more pretty paper. This was an actual advertisement from a Life magazine from the 1950s, I believe, or 40s that I actually own. And I scanned it and printed it out to make a little insert for this book. But the original is just so much better. Another beautiful page from the cardstock, and just a little ticket that I got in the mail. I think I learned how to make this also from Pam from the Paper Outpost. It's a 3-level heart and pockets, or did I think I only made it 2 levels. Yeah, I think hers was 3 levels, but I can't remember. But it's so pretty. And that's another advertisement from the Life magazine where I just loved this picture. And I actually have the original to that. I love vellum. Don't know why I love vellum so much, I just do. There's the other end of the wrapping paper pocket page. And this paper is nice and thick, so it's really fun to work with. Let's see. Another doily and the illustration from the other side. I actually took 2 pieces of the illustrations out of this book and joined them together with washi tape so that I could make a page in this book. And this, I haven't decorated this yet, but it's another one of those pocket pages that I just stuffed in here because I didn't like that one very much. So anyway, this whole book is a continual work in process. I don't know if I'll ever be done with it. Well, I guess I will when it gets too full. This is, I did some embossing. I was playing around with embossing and I glued the napkin on first. Then I embossed it and then glued it and used some pretty washi tape. And gosh, you're going to see a lot of stuff from Pam in here because one day I went through here and tried to write down all that I could remember. But this actually was made from 4 playing cards. And I think it was a process where you use gesso to cover the cards, and then you decorate the back and the front of it, and the binding is a little bit of lace there and there where it folds. And I just thought this was so cool. I've made so many things out of playing cards thanks to learning about that. So, and this is a cute little altered paper clip, I guess you could call it. Did some sewing on it, made this little handmade flower and a little stamp and just odds and ends that you have laying around. There's so many great things you can make with scraps. And this is this was something that I got from, I believe, Pam online. She had this supplies for junk journals and all kinds of things that you can use. But I can tell you one thing, she includes a lot of stuff in here, but there's so much more stuff out there that you can use to make books and stuff out of. It's just your own creativity and learning. And I was very creative before I started looking up YouTube videos, because my big thing is I already knew how to make books and everything, but I just love the creativity of everyone making all these different components and pieces of ephemera and stuff for their books and their creativity. I like to include some sort of a crossword or game page from a book. Let's see, another music page, a little spread here I had from this lovely illustrated scripture book. And this is another one from Pam. I believe this is origami, but these tabs indicate where to open it. So you open it like this. I think you can see it. And then it has a pocket right here, and I have a little twin. Isn't that cool? And so I put that in there and it folds right back. And I had to put the, I actually had to put the tape on there so I would remember where it folded so that I could remember not to tear the book, as you can see. And then I made this little one out of a botanical book. And I made this tiny little one. Isn't it cute? I love it. I love it. So there we go. I tried to remember who I learned things from and put their name in the book so that I could refer back to it if I needed to, if I forgot how to make it. This is just a cool little belly band and some, I think these were digital downloads. I did that a lot earlier this year. And there's nothing wrong with digitals and digis and downloads and all that good stuff, but I found out I've got so much real stuff that I don't use this stuff very much anymore, but I still like it. This was from a travel book that I got. It's someplace I really want to go. I love brown paper too. And let's see, let's get through this. This is just a little thing that I came up with and put it in the middle of this signature, and I decorated the envelope, opened it up, and I just made this pretty little, you can write on these pages, and I stuffed a few items in there. Found this cool washi tape that looks like houses. It's so pretty. Anyway, I love that. And let's see what we got here. I think that's a CD sleeve, and I just put in a picture of some purple flowers in there. Oh, let's see. I think the back portion, oh, I remember making this now. I kind of came up with this. I used all these different ideas. So I put a belly band. I took this copper colored envelope, put some pretty paper on it, made a belly band, and put some extra journaling paper in there. Then you fold it out, and you've got another journaling card and a pocket right here. I think that's all, yeah. I love that little list right there. And then the last signature has another cute little button hanging off as a dangle, and a couple of pieces of ephemera. Playing around with stencils one day. Another botanical page from my favorite book. Somebody gave me some stationery from a hotel in New York City, and I just love it. Some more tea-dyed paper. I think this came from a children's dictionary. Vellum. Love, love, love maps. And this is the center, and this is just a pretty envelope that I got in the mail. I've been collecting my junk mail envelopes for a while now, and I try to use them as much as I can. Made a kind of a coordinating journaling card out of that for this page spread. The back of the map, a pocket here. This was my experimenting with 3D paint program on my computer, where you can take words and then put images over it. And I enjoy doing it, but I found out that's not my forte. I got bored with it real easy. I'll let everybody else do that for me. So, let's see. Some more, the back pages of what we just saw. Let's see, that's the end of this one. And then this one I just put a little, this was cut out, and then, you know, got a couple of cute little cards in there. So this one doesn't, it's not too fat yet, but I actually have so many more ideas that I want to put in here so I don't forget how to do them. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you subscribe to my channel. And I will be back with some more flip throughs of some other items that I've made, because I love to make all types of videos with the different types of books, that I would like to video. Sorry about that. And thank you so much.